Good morning, everyone. Strafe Cal. We are checking in. Starting off this episode by checking in because I have been doing my grind to get gold and experience here. And we actually have a little ways to go. But I am just about to get this experience level, and I've been trying to get at least that on video for each one. So I figured I'd check in. I think I've done that run 4 times at this point. Down into the cave. And we're going to be doing quite a few more. Which is fine. Courage and wit have served thee well. Thou hast been promoted to the next level. Thy power increases by 8. That is a large number for this. Thy response speed increases by 2. Maximum hit points by 4. And magic by 6. And we've learned a new spell, which is Radiant. So, there's a couple things that this lets us do. The first is, we have a little bit more leeway with magic. And health. Second thing is, 8 strength is a lot. And that's probably going to be enough to carry us, to allow us to kill several more monster types in that second floor of the cave, a little bit more safe. Which I think might be enough to... I may be able to do 2 dips into the cave before I head back to Tintagel Castle. We'll have to see. So, my current goal, just as a reminder, is to get up to... $3,000 gold. And we actually have 2 other things that we're looking at doing shortly after that that are also going to require some gold. So I'm probably going to be aiming for somewhere in the realm of at least 3,500. We'll see where I end up after one of those runs. So we will get back to the grind, and we'll check in with you next time. So I've got good news and bad news. The good news is the grind is done. And then some. The bad news is I did miss a level. I wasn't paying attention to how much XP I'd gotten, and so I didn't end up signing on and making a video for it. Which is also not a huge deal, but, you know, I had intended to. So, in the interest of that, let's start off by saying, Courage and wit have served thee well. Thou hast been promoted to the next level. Strength increased by 5. Thy response speed increases by 8. Thy hit points increase by 4. Thy magic points increase by 4. Oh, and we learned a new spell. Stop spell. Stop spell stops the enemy from casting spells, which can be very good against enemies that cast hurt or other spells, especially if they have a very high probability of casting them, because if they have a high probability of casting them, that means that they are likely to waste their turn as it bounces off the stop spell. So, we are ready to head to the next area. We are heading back over towards Cole. We're going to start off there. See there, we are doing significantly more damage than we were previously. These enemies that had originally been giving us a little trouble are currently just getting blown away. I think that's the first time I've one-shot a Magidraki, so I'm pretty happy with that. And at this point, we are just cruising through the enemies that had been giving us problems. We haven't even done our shopping yet. I will also say, one of the benefits of that grind, which I hadn't thought about, is once I didn't have to, or you can only hold 6 herbs, or a stack of 6 items. So once I got to the point where I didn't need to use them every time, it actually became a grind for herbs as well as money. Okay, we now have the full plate, which is technically the second highest defense power in the game for armors already. The magic armor is the only other one that is available before the legendary Erdrick's armor. And the magic armor and the full plate have the same armor value. So, we have a significant boost to defense now. Even more protection, even more security here. And we are ready to travel, finally, through the cave. So, to the south here is a cave. And we were told a couple things related to this. One was that the southern continent had a city called Rimuldar. Second is that Rimuldar Second was that Rimuldar is where you go to get keys. And the third is that the princess was being kept in a cave to the east. So, we are following those clues. Now, we're not going to be able to save the princess yet, because the princess is behind a locked door. To get through the locked door, we're going to need a key. To get a key, we're going to go to Rimuldar. These skeletons still hit pretty hard. There's a lot of stuff here that is a little tougher than what we've been dealing with. It's not significant, but it is like that. We are also going to be breaking our long-standing tradition here, and once we get down to town, I'm probably going to actually stay in the inn instead of doing what we've been doing. So we're gonna do a short grind here, and by a short grind I mean I'm probably just going to burn through a few MP, since we're going to get that back when we rest at the inn. The more money we have here, the better, because we are going to purchase a bunch of keys all at once. I suppose I probably, before I do anything more, should head into town and do the first purchase we were going to, which is a weapon upgrade. It feels a little silly in retrospect to be sitting here whacking enemies with my axe when I'm about ready to buy a broadsword. Okay, Rimuldar. No, I have no tomatoes. I have no tomatoes today. That's a joke that they just made. Scales of the Dragonlord are as hard as steel. So, the magic armor is available here, and it's exactly the same as the full plate, except that whenever you take a step, you recover 1 hit point. So, not really worth it. It's still very good. Okay, everybody wants proof that we're the descendant of Erdrick. Over to the western part of this island, Erdrick created a rainbow. It is also said that he entered the darkness from a hidden entrance in the room of the Dragonlord. Thou shalt find the stones of sunlight in Tentacle Castle, if thou hast not found them already. This is a magic place. Hast thou found a magic temple? Go to the south. In this temple do the rain and sun meet. Travel not to the south, for the monsters are fierce and terrible. Well, luckily, we don't have the sun and the rain yet. So we don't need to go south yet. In this world, there any sword that can pierce the scales of the Dragonlord. Well, clearly, our descendant had some way to do that, right? Or our ancestor, rather. Okay. This is one of my favorite tropes that has been several times in early games, and that is games that have the border of a town, and to get to certain hidden areas, you have to go around. And we are going to purchase a bunch of keys. Okay. I forgot, you can only hold 6 at a time. We can actually go out the top here. And we're actually going to head over here. I am Howard. 4 steps south of the Bath and Coal, thou shalt find a magic item. Thanks, Howard. The wings, which will immediately take us back to Tentacle Castle. So at this point, we've actually gotten a lot of the clues. By the way, the reason we're purchasing all of our keys here, there are actually other places to purchase them later, but they are 80 apiece instead of 30 apiece. Let's see, metal scorpions. Shouldn't be too bad. We're gonna put it to sleep. I think they should just take 2 hits. Yeah. Just checking my charts here. To see if there is a large margin, and honestly, we may be good. Because quite frankly, I don't want to do another grind right now. We just did a grind. We just got a bunch of upgrades, and we've got good armor. I think I'm going to go for it. We're going to take a risk. We're gonna go be a hero. Our next level comes at 2,900. So we still need like 500 more experience, which is why I'm saying I'm gonna go... I don't want to do the grind right now for that. And I think it's worth the risk. So we are going to go try and save the princess. And I'm not sure whether this is a good idea or not. But I think with the armor that we already got, that we should be potentially good to do that. I mean, if they just keep attacking us, then there is a decent chance that we'll just get the level anyway. We are getting all the fights. One-shotting scorpions now. That feels good. We are going to use a torch and cast heal. I actually don't have a map for this one because it's pretty straightforward. So we're gonna hope that I don't screw up horribly. I think it's just right over here. That's it. I don't think we're ready. I was wrong. We might be okay. Nope. Okay. Thou art dead. That was way more. I will give you another chance. Yeah. That was a lot worse than I thought it was gonna be. Clearly. So, when you die, you return to Tentacle Castle. You lose half your gold. And that is it. So, we are going to, I think we're going to go ahead and, since we've got the hint, we're going to go ahead and head to Cole. I wasn't expecting that thing to be able to be hitting for 25-30 with the fully upgraded armor that we've got. I'm hoping... It's not like there's a huge agility boost in the next 2 levels, so I don't know why it recommended coming up to that level, but I think at this point we're going to probably definitely have to do a little bit of a grind before we do that. And maybe I'll look at doing stuff in a slightly different order than I had originally planned, because I think a good chunk of the stuff that we're currently able to deal with... Yeah, we might be able to do another area here instead. First, just so we don't have to grind quite as much, I guess. Okay. So. 1, 2, 3, 4. Search. And we get the fairy flute. Which, if you recall, we've talked to a certain number of other people. Fairies know how to put the golem to sleep. Not relevant yet, but it will be. So at this point, we have lots of little hints. We know that we know that Erdrick made a rainbow, and that there's a place in the south where the sun and the rain can come together. So, if we want to make our own rainbow, we would need to get the sun and the rain, and go to the south. However, we've been told that the Stones of Sunlight are in Tentacle Castle, and we have a guy who offered to give us the Staff of Rain if we bring him the Silver Harp. So the piece that we're still missing clues about is the Silver Harp, I think, at this point. Which we do have a clue about, it's just a bad clue. Because we have been told that the founder of the town of Garenham was a minstrel. And I believe we've been told that he played the harp. I can't remember if that was actually mentioned or not. So, I think rather than going and doing another grind, and another grind, and another grind, I am going to stop here, and we are going to try venturing into Garenham next time. Hopefully you're still enjoying. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.